Number 5 is a combination gravity swing shoulder launch. Tiger Woods, Greg Norman, Mark Calcavecchia, John Dalick swing like that, and I didn't mention that in my first book. Tiger was still an amateur then, and I didn't want to single Greg Norman out as a single example of a power source, but they move back to the front foot, go into the counterfall, start the delivery with mass rotation, and then right here at the point of angular release, they take their shoulders and just crank them coming into impact. That technique hits the ball the farthest of the 5 techniques, but it carries a two-edged sword with it, and that is that when you add that shoulder launch, you internalize energy. It makes the golf club speed up and can cause you to hit flyers, or it can cause you to overspin the ball. I'd say Greg's probably lost more tournaments than he's won by sucking the ball off the green at inappropriate times. When you watch Trevino's ball land, his ball hits on the green and it neither moves forward nor it moves backward. It has just exactly the right amount of spin. When it touches down, it just sets. Greg's ball hits the ground and goes just like that. You remember when he lost to Faldo, when he threw it into the 9th green at Augusta and sucked it all the way across the green down the hill. He's a fantastic competitor, but he's still internalizing energy into the golf swing. Now, if those guys would use that combination power source for an occasional tee shot is one thing, but that's not the best way you can hit an iron shot. I think if either one of them had Trevino playing for him from 150 yards in, there's no telling how many golf tournaments they'd win. What you gain from the gravity golf swing is a swing, first of all, that's the most compliant with the laws of motion. The third law says for every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. Well, of those 5 techniques, 4 of them have a physical flex in the downswing. There will be a reaction to that flex or that action, which will come in the form of a path change. When I found the first release and the counterfall, all the pieces of the puzzle just, they went together. I knew what made the thing go. You can ask the top 100 teachers in the country what starts the downswing, and you're likely to get 100 different answers. I'll tell you point blank that if a person doesn't understand how the counterfall implements effortless rotation, if that part of that formula and the relationship between the arm drop and the counterfall is not understood, that would be like an individual looking under the hood of a car and not knowing what makes an internal combustion engine run. The golf swing is a dynamic mechanism that has a go mechanism that makes it work. It's not a function of playing positions, or should not be, where we learn golf by playing connect the dots. One of the worst things that anybody can do to an individual is try to dictate path to them. When someone tries to put you in a plastic track or tell you where your plane should be, you should run from that person. Don't walk away from them, run from them. Because they will put your swing in a mechanical box. Video, I've never found video to be an effective teacher for golf, except on a before and after basis if a person needs an ego trip to see that his golf swing's improved. Imagine if Michael Jordan is shooting jump shots from the three-point line, what do you think you're going to see different on video between a shot that hits the rim and bounces out and one that swishes the net? If you didn't see the result, you wouldn't know which was a successful swing and which was a failure. If Nolan Ryan or one of the great pitchers or Maddox is up there throwing fastballs, what do you think you're going to see different in the arm position between a pitch that hits the outside corner of the plate for a strike and one that misses by 2 inches for a ball. You're not going to see a cotton-picking thing. And in the golf swing, it's the same way. When you're trying to come down and match 2 points that are no bigger than 2 pennies and make those perfectly collide, you will not see the things that will cause that path to jump. That's why, rather than trying to use a tool that is incapable of telling us exactly what to do, if we can turn the orchestration of those mechanics over to part of our brain that is capable of handling a multitude of simultaneous motor functions, we can do a much better, quicker job of trying to train path integrity than we can with a camera. The other thing about path is that every individual has his own unique skeletal structure and mass distribution on his frame. There is an ideal path for every individual. And nobody on the planet, not myself, not David Ledbetter, not Jim McLean, nobody can tell you where your I can't do it. Nobody can tell you where your perfect path is. There are exercises that we have that will show you how to identify exactly where your perfect path is. But we can't tell you where that path is. You have to find that path on your own.